The man thrust his spear violently into the cactus. An invisible, deadly trap was instantly set. Soon the pursuing tribesman appeared. He was drawn to the cactus, dripping with white sap. The tribesman immediately went on high alert. He began scanning the surroundings. Suddenly, he spotted George's exposed animal hide shoe. He held his breath and crept closer. He thought he would strike down his enemy in the next moment. Little did he know, the real prey was right behind him. Watching the tribesman fall, George felt no joy whatsoever, because the situation ahead would be even more dangerous. He had to constantly guard against the tribesmen behind him, and he needed to find food as soon as possible. Had he known this outcome, he would never have dared to come and poach elephants. Meanwhile, the chief watched as his tribesmen were killed one by one. He could no longer contain his fury. He decided to personally lead the hunt for the man. At this time, George, parched and starving, arrived at the river to drink. But the water was teeming with crocodiles, and he dared not approach. Helpless, he had no choice but to run into the forest in disappointment. Unbeknownst to him, the tribesmen were searching the forest for him. George had only run a few steps when a tribesman suddenly leapt out from the side. George tucked his body sharply to dodge, barely avoiding a fatal blow. He then grappled with the tribesman. For a moment, neither gained the upper hand. Finally, George suddenly threw a handful of sand and barely claimed victory. After learning that another tribesman had died, the chief swore to capture the man. The tribe's finest hunters were immediately deployed en masse. After days of searching, they finally located George. George could only run desperately forward. No matter how fast he ran, he couldn't escape the overwhelming pursuit. In the end, George stopped running altogether. He gently blew on the dry grass, and sparks instantly ignited it. He then lit an arrow and shot it, creating a wall of fire in an instant. His goal was to trap the pursuing tribesmen. Watching them retreat under the flames, George couldn't help cheering with excitement. The fear and tension of the past days seemed to evaporate in this moment. Seizing the chance before the others noticed, George quickly left the forest. However, the scorching heat, combined with prolonged hunger and thirst, had severely drained George's strength. His running pace grew slower and slower, but to survive, he relied solely on his relentless willpower, dragging his weakened body, moving forward step by step. After an unknown amount of time, George could no longer hold himself up, collapsing heavily to the ground. Just when he was near despair, a worm slowly wriggled ahead. In that moment, he felt a renewed hope to live. George quickly grabbed the worm, prepared it briefly, and swallowed it. His starving body finally received a bit of nourishment. As his strength gradually returned, a fire to survive reignited in his eyes. George struggled to stand up, continuing his journey of escape. After a full week of pursuit, he finally reached the outskirts of a small town. Looking at the gate right in front of him, George's long-held tension finally completely relaxed. In the end, this brutal game of life and death concluded with George's victory. Life can be pushed to the limit, but the will can never be conquered.